awesome students. So in the survey I recently did, there was a few of you that mentioned that you wanted to see a little bit more of where I live here in England. So I just had to go to the post office to mail a few things to family overseas, and I thought I'd give you a little tour on this rainy day, which is a typical English day, in my little Nissan Qashqai car. It's not called that in the States. And I thought I would just do a little drive-through of the town on my way home, so you could see what the city of Exeter looks like. They call it a city, but in reality, it's kind of like a town. It's about the same size as Reading, really, in population. I thought I would just take a drive-through. You don't have to watch this. I just thought I would show you a little bit of my life. Okay, so here we go. This is pretty typical community area of an English town. Very narrow streets. This is a two-way road. My car is a manual, as all are, so if I move the camera around, it's because I'm trying to do two-hand driving here. I'm going to go down. This on the corner is a typical English pub, and of course English pubs are where everyone goes. It's nice. Of course everyone's got their masks on, COVID world, but some nice little shops down here. This city, Exeter, was founded by the Romans in the 2nd century, so originally called Isca, probably older than that too. But this is the area called Southern Hay. It's pretty beautiful at night. I might do a little video to show it at night, but this is an old kind of, this is called Palladian style, so it's very typical European style buildings from the 1700s. So you kind of get that. It's kind of funny to think that a lot of these buildings are older than the United States, but there you go. In fact, here's one of the oldest. This used to be the hospital from the 1600s, and then right over there you could kind of see the cathedral in the trees. That was mostly built in the early 1300s. So I might do a video walking over there. You can't get your car too close to that. But I'll go across the bridge and show you where I live in this part of town. Exeter, again, as I said, was founded by the Romans, but also has a lot of rich history as far as Viking attacks in the 700s, all the way up to really, I'm trying to think the latest one, Poleslow Road, 1200s probably. You get some attacks. So 9th, 10th century, and the 1200s you get some attacks by pirates down here by the river. So a lot of those pubs down there and churches are very old. And one of the pubs there was built in the 1340s, so it's pretty awesome to see. And of course, pub means public house, and that's exactly what it is. So the idea of it is to kind of just meet. So, you know, it's kind of not just for drinking. This house here, very old sort of Tudor looking house, is called the House That Moved because it used to be down the street and they moved it there in the 1800s. You can see those other buildings in that old church. It's actually an awesome bookshop. It's free. All the books inside, I'll show you right in there. All the books are free, and you just kind of give what you can, and you turn in a few books. And so it's a nice big Tudor style building that is all free. Pretty cool. And of course, when I say free, they do kind of expect a donation, but so I tend to give like a pound or two, which is just a couple bucks. Now this here is part of the old original bridge. If you know a bit of English history, they had an English Revolution, the Glorious Revolution, and a guy named Oliver Cromwell, the Cromwellian government, he took over, and in fact, when he raided Exeter, he went over this bridge. So it kind of gives you an idea. You can kind of see it there a little bit, but then we're just going up to where the river is now. This is the Exxon, the River Exe. Okay, back on the road. The traffic lights. I didn't want to bore you with that, but this is the River Exe. You can kind of see it, hopefully through the rails a little bit. It has nice swans, beautiful riverfront. It kind of forks down there. We'll see that as I get closer to where I live. And it's the oldest canal in England, so built in the 1500s. If you've heard of Sir Walter Raleigh, He was the one that originally designed it, and Sir Francis Drake, he lived nearby as well. So some pirates, and his house is nearby. Maybe if I have a chance to go over there, I'll show you that absolutely gorgeous place. If you keep going on this road, which is a bit of traffic, it'll take you out of town and up into the mountains called Dartmoor. Absolutely fantastic place, worth looking up. It's if you're a fan of Sherlock Holmes or Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's work, a lot of it was written up there, the Hound of the Baskervilles. And there's awesome stone circles that are older than Stonehenge. So I've done a few videos and other classes up there about that. I might do that if I have a chance. But absolutely fantastic place, and you could camp, and they have wild ponies, and the ponies have no other DNA with any other horses in the world. And when you camp and you wake up, I've done it a few times, and they kind of just wake up right outside your tent, and there they are. They're not afraid of people at all. So this is where I live, down on the Quay. It's spelled Q-U. Awesome mullet, by the way. It's pronounced Quay, but it's spelled Q-U-A-Y. So if you ever see the word, what you might want to say is quay, it's pronounced Quay. The quayside, and of course this is awesome history here. I've done a few videos early in the class, if you remember, on the other side where the customs house is. One of the coolest thing about this place, watch the driving. Of course, this is two-way. You're used to having not much room driving around. The coolest thing is like the pirates that used to be here, the raiding, and of course even the Romans were here. Some awesome pubs and waterside. Over on the other side, there's part of the canal. Of course, little coffee shops. All these places that used to be storage rooms. And we talked about the exchange, the world system of exchange, and the cotton that would come from the south that we were talking about in class, and other goods, tobacco, would come to this quayside from the United States, from even the colonies before the United States, and pretty awesome to think of that journey in the whole U.S. history and history of the world history as well, of how that plays a role. So you can kind of see the original stonework here, and then along the quay here. I'm just going to go a little further, and you can see this is a two-way street, and this is kind of typical for England. What I love about the quay, and I actually live right to the left here, is you can see the church top buildings, and at night, and that's awesome if you're anyone who's a climber, if you see this building here, that sort of swirly thing, that's a climbing wall, an outdoor climbing wall, and it's pretty awesome to see. But behind that, and as far as history, those houses up there were mostly built around the 1600s, so this whole little quayside has a lot of rich history, and it's really fun to just, especially with your classes and preparing material, to just walk around here and be in history and think about it, and think about you all in California. All right, so that's a little journey. I'm home now, and welcome to England.